Okay, Fayez, this is how I do the summer restoration shots in Photoshop in Lightroom. And it's totally free. And so it's something you can use as an upsell uh, for your clients. And there's probably other software that does that, but you might have to purchase a subscription. So anyway, this is the original photo that I took, and you can see it looks pretty bad. It was yesterday actually. This is where I was going when I was talking to you. This one is in, I think, St. Catharines. I did two. And you can see, first of all, there's a truck in the driveway, and it was tenants, so I couldn't get them to move the truck there. And you can see the grass is all ugly, and the sky is ugly, and look at all these ugly bushes there. So what I did, I uploaded this photo into Gemini. And Gemini is a free version, or you can pay for it, but I just use the free version of Gemini. And Gemini is Google's AI. ChatGPT is Microsoft. Grok is Twitter or X. And Gemini is Google. And I use Gemini because it's the fastest one I found, and it does actually a pretty good job. ChatGPT also does a great job with the AI renditions of photographs. The only thing, it takes too long, so I like Gemini. Gemini takes probably uh, 15 seconds to render a photo. So I just uploaded this photo into Gemini, and I gave it a really simple prompt, which was make this a nice MLS summer shot and remove the van. And it did both. And it came up with this right here. So you see, look how good of a job that did. So it put green grass there, it removed the truck, and it put a sky and trees everywhere. So you can see how much better it looks. So, and now you can just use this as you can upload it to the gallery. You just have to change the resolution. I render everything to 1900 pixels, and I think Gemini saves your AI version at like 1200, so it's smaller. And so what we do though, so what I do to kind of get the best of both worlds, uh, I I highlight both of them. I'll explain in a second, and then I edit them as layers in Photoshop, and I'll explain why I do that in a second as this loads up right here. Okay, and my computer's kind of slow. This is a really old version of Photoshop. Okay, so it created layers now, and I don't know if you can see it. There's the original. Actually, the original is my JPEG from my cell phone, and it's so this is 400 pixels right here, this big one, and this is the jet. Look how much smaller it is, and this is the reason I do this method right here, because I want to keep as much. I want to keep as much of the sharpness of my original 4000 pixel photo, but I want all the changes that Gemini did, all the nice summer changes. I just want to put those in the original photo. So what you do, we have layers, and what I do now, I manually drag this over my JPEG. And of course, right now it's too big. It's going to get all blurry and splotchy and stuff like that. So I do that, and now hang on a sec. I put I put my photo on top as a layer, and then I put Gemini under it. And I'm just toggling off my photo on and off. You can see they're pretty close. The Gemini, it kind of like almost on top. Sometimes Gemini offsets the photo a bit. Okay, so here's my original photo, and here's Gemini. So I want to keep as much of my original photo as possible, and just put the Gemini changes in here. So in my photo, the house is pretty good. Just this part of the house, we can kind of keep that to maintain as much sharpness as possible. And then everything else, the sky and the grass and the trees here, we want to put the Gemini. things. And the way we do that, we just make a mask. I can't use a mask because my software is all messed up here. So I just use the eraser brush, and I set the flow to like 9%. And watch, I just start kind of, what I'm doing, I'm erasing my my JPEG, and as I erase, it's showing the Gemini photo underneath. And so, and you can see, all we want to do is just do the good parts of Gemini. So see that? It's putting some nice sky in there. And it's putting all those nice leaves on the tree. So remember, this is all still my photo right here. But all this stuff we're doing now with the brush is Gemini. Look at that. And we're just using Gemini, just only in the spots we really need it. Okay, we're doing that. Looks like Gemini put some nice, a nice garden there. Looks like it. Get rid of that. I don't want to go too much into my original photo because I want to keep the sharpness of my original photo. If you can see, Gemini actually offset the photo a bit, so it's not perfectly on top of the old photo. But just for the sake of this, I'm not going to worry about that right there. See, look at that. We do that. Now watch, we're going to get rid of the van. There we go. Get rid of the van. You see a nice garden there. Do that there. Okay, so we do that. And I think that's about it. That's all we're going to do. So, like I said, so all of the grass in the blue sky is Gemini, but the house itself is still my photo. So, and that's where we're going to keep the sharpness. There's the Gemini logo right there. So we're going to get rid of that in Lightroom. And so all we do is we save this, and then we go back to our Lightroom gallery, and it should pop up. Okay, and there's this one here. It's hard to tell. You kind of have to look at the name of it. This is a TIFF file. So this is the hybrid right here. This photo is the hybrid. This photo is the original, the ugly one. This one is the Gemini generation, which is smaller, it looks the same size, but it's actually smaller resolution. And this, you can't really tell, but this is now my full resolution 4,000 pixel version of the hybrid photo. And now let's get rid of that symbol right there. So all we do is that simple thing, which I'm sure you know how to do. Okay, and there we go. And this is now 4,000 pixels combined my sharp original JPEG, which is mostly the house in here, and then everything around it is the Gemini AI summer rendition. And then I export it. You export however you want, whatever your method is. And now when I go to my desktop, it should be right here. Let's see. Yep, there you go. And if there's our hybrid, there's our summer rendition. And if we look at our pixels, it is 1900 by 1267. So this is now the regular resolution. So I hope you understand what we did. We just you can use the Gemini resolution, but it might get a little bit blurry because you're going to upscale it when you save it. The way I did it here, we only used parts of Gemini, and we used as much of my original as we could, which was like mostly the house itself right here. And now we managed to save it at 1900 pixels, and it's going to be a little bit sharper than if we just saved the Gemini version. And so that's basically it. It probably takes 2 or 3 minutes to do a photo.